Yeah, today, hope it's audible to everyone. Yeah, is it audible to everyone? Can anyone respond? Yeah, fine. Right. So today we'll start with the cursors. Right. So, okay, so what is the purpose of cursors is? Cursors, they are used for what? Processing. Okay, they are used for processing the result sets, processing the result sets returned by the query, returned by the select query. Okay, cursors are used for processing the result sets returned by the query. So let's see how to do this. One second, please. Yeah, who is this just now logged in? Please enter your name in that list.
This is Praveen. Sridhar.
Praveen, fine, fine, fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So cursors are used for what? Processing the result sets returned by the query. Okay, so let's see one example, then we'll understand. So related to the cursors, we are basically what four steps. First step is we need to declare the cursor. Okay, we need to declare the cursor. Then we need to open the cursor. Then we need to what read the cursor data, read the cursor, and then we need to what close the cursor. Okay, so what I mean to say is they are used for processing the result sets returned by the query. Means when you execute the select query, it will return some result, it will return some data. That data, if you want to process that, you can put it inside a cursor and then you can do the necessary processing. Okay, so let's see an example so that we'll understand on this. So first of all, let me create one table. For that, I'll create a simple table. Right, so this is my schema. I'll quickly create one what table. Right. Okay, the schema got set. Now I'll create a table. Create table. Okay, let me give the table name as what employee underscore department as. Okay, I'll give some fields in this. Employee number int primary key. Employee name varchar of 20. Let us take another field, employee designation. Let us take it as varchar of 20 only. Done. Next, I'll take another field, department number. Or first, let me take employee salary. Employee salary, let us take it as what? Integer. Employee salary integer. Done. Then I'll take another field, department number, integer. So this is a table which contains what? Some 5 columns. I got an error. Why? Incorrect syntax, line 3, column 5. Incorrect syntax near so and so. I got the error here. Why? Create table employee underscore department as Yeah, as EMP number, I gave int primary key. Why it is not allowing? This should not be a matter. Employee number, int primary key, varchar of 20, employee designation, so on. So done. When I say F8, what is the error? I am unable to understand. Incorrect syntax near so and so line 3, column 5. Oh, create table, table name as so and so. Incorrect syntax near so line 3, column 5. This is a column 3. What is the error here? Yeah, anyone?
Actually, sir, why we are using else table creation?
As is not there.
No,
It is executing. It's taking time. Oh, yeah. So I forgot the syntax, right? So table is created. Now quickly let me. So the problem is the as keyword. Okay. Now let me insert some data here. Insert into employee underscore department values 5 fields, right? Okay. One. I'll just give some data here. Rajwan designation. I'll give manager. I'll give some salary. I'll give the department number 10. Okay. Like this. Let me insert some data. Done. So I'm trying to insert some records. 30, 20, 30, 20, again 30. Okay, done. And let me give the salary also. Done. Let me change the employee numbers. I'll change the designations. Done. So this is my data. Let me try to execute this. Yes, it got executed. So my table contains 5 records, 10 records. So when I refresh the table name is employee underscore department. This is a table. So when I query for the data, yeah, I got the data. Okay. So now my requirement is based on this table. I want to create a what a cursor. So my requirement is I want to what wherever the designation is manager, try to understand, wherever the designation is manager, okay, I need to increase the salary by 5%. Try to understand. Wherever the designation is manager, I want to increase the salary by 5% and insert and transfer that particular record into what? Another table. Okay, so I want to create two more tables. Which contain same sort of fields, same fields, but the first table should store only managers, the other table should store what? Other than managers. So I repeat the requirement. Wherever the designation is manager, I need to increase the salary by 5% and transfer that record, means make a copy of that record and put it in what? The first table. Okay, if it is other than manager, increase the salary by 10% and transfer that record into what? Another table. Okay, so first of all, let me create two more tables which contains what? Same fields as that of this particular table. So I'll say create table. Okay, let me give the table name as employee underscore department underscore mng. For our convenience, I am taking the table name as employee underscore department underscore mng, like what is the existing table? Employee underscore what? Department. Done. And let me create another. Okay, first let me execute this. When I say F8, yes, it got successfully executed. Let me create one more table. Create table employee underscore department underscore. I'll give the table name as non-manager like employee underscore what? Department. Let me execute. Yeah, it got successfully executed. So if you refresh these tables, so we have two more tables, employee underscore department underscore mng, employee underscore department underscore non-mng. So if you see the definition of these tables, the definition would be what? Same. The definition would be same for both the tables, but the data would not be available. So if you see here, this is my original table, employee underscore department. When I query the data in employee underscore department underscore manager, when I open the content, I don't have any data at this stage. Done. Similarly, when I right click on this, when I open the content, I don't have any data. So both the tables are what? Empty, but the structure is what? Same. So what is the requirement now? Wherever the designation is manager, I need to increase the what? Salary by what? Some 5% and make a copy of that record and put it into which table? MNG table. If it is other than manager, if the designation is other than manager, increase the salary by 10% and insert that particular corresponding record into what? Non-MNG table. So this kind of things we can go for what? Cursors. So what I have to do, I need to pull this entire data. Okay, I need to pull this entire data into what? Cursor, and then we need to process that cursor record by record. So I can say cursor will act as what? Now work area. Okay, at any point of time it will refer to what? Single record. I have to read each record one by one and then process it accordingly. Okay, so that is the requirement. Okay, so hope the requirement is clear so far. Any questions, please ask me. Done. Okay, so let us create the cursor now. So we need to create that cursor as part of a procedure. So let me create the procedure. Create procedure. Okay, create procedure. I'll give the procedure name as something transfer underscore data. Okay, transfer underscore data. Okay, let me say as begin. Done. So try to understand as begin. What is the okay? Right. So this table, the main table, employee underscore department, has got how many fields? It has got some 5 fields. Let me quickly open the definition. I am opening the definition of the original table. right? So we have int varchar int. Okay, done. So keeping this in mind, okay, I'll declare some five variables. Okay, I'll declare some five variables because each record in my main table contains what, five fields. So I'll declare some five variables. How to declare? By using the keyword declare. So I'll say v underscore emp number int. Then I'll say declare v underscore ename. One second, please. Let me try to maintain ename emp. Does it done? Yeah, v underscore ename. I'll declare it as varchar of 20. Then declare v underscore emp desig. Let me declare it as varchar of 20. Done. Then again I'll say declare v underscore emp sal. I'll declare it as integer. Declare v underscore department number integer. Okay, so I declared five individual fields, five individual variables. Okay, because each record in my table contains what, five fields. Okay, done. Emp does it, done. Okay, now what I have to do, what is the first step here? The first step we need to do is we need to declare the cursor. So why we have to go for cursor? What is the requirement? I need to iterate through all the records. I need to what? Iterate through all the records and check each record. Okay, so for this kind of requirements, I can go for what? Cursor. So what is the first step? Declaring the cursor. How do you declare the cursor? You will say declare. Try to understand. Declare cursor. Okay, declare cursor. You can give any name. You can give any name. Let me give it as something C1. Okay, and cursors will always be associated with select query. Cursors will always be associated with what? Select query. So I'll say declare cursor name for any I want all the fields. So I'll say, yeah, select star from what is my main table. The main table is employee underscore department. So I'll say employee underscore department. Done. So I declare the cursor. This is the first step. Okay, done. So this is only a declaration. What is the next step here? Open the cursor. We need to open the cursor. So how do you open the cursor? Simply you'll say open followed by what? Cursor name. Okay, so whenever we open the cursor, the select statement associated with the cursor will be executed, and the result of that particular select query will be stored as part of that particular what, cursor. Okay, that particular cursor content is called as what? Active set. I repeat once again, whenever we open the cursor, the select statement associated with the cursor will be executed, and the data returned by the select query will be stored in that cursor, and which we call it as what? Active set. The moment the data is stored in the cursor, we call that particular section as what? Active set. Okay, so cursor is open. Now I need to what I have to do? I have to start iterating from first record to what? Last record. So I'll go for what? Loop and end loop. Okay, I'll go for loop and end loop. Yeah, loop and end loop, done. So between this loop and end loop, what I have to do? So the concept is something like this here. So whenever we open the cursor, what happens? In my HANA database, I'm having a table. The select statement will be executed, and the data would come and sit in my what? Cursor location. You can imagine this cursor like an internal table. Okay, so this is cursor what? C1. Okay, the entire data written by the select query will come and sit in this particular cursor area. Okay, one by one. Okay, so this is first record, this is second record. Okay, this is third record. So this entire what section, we call it as what? Active set. We call it as what? Active set. Done. Okay, so where is the pointer will be available? The pointer will be available at the beginning of what? First record. The pointer will be available at the beginning of the first record, and each record contains how many fields? Five fields, because I said star here. Star refers to what? All the fields of your table. It has got 5 fields. So each record in my cursor contains what? 5 fields. So when I read one row, in the cursor, it will read how many fields? 5 fields. That is the reason I declared what? 5 different variables. Okay, done. So I have to start reading it. So how do you read the cursor data? What is the next step here? Read the cursor data. So you'll say somewhere, okay, sorry, oh, loop. Okay, done. You have to say fetch. We have to use a keyword called as what? Fetch cursor name into so fetch, what it will try to read the data at the current position. Obviously by default the position will be at the beginning of the first row. So when I read it, it will read 5 fields. So I need to transfer that into what? 5 variables. So v underscore emp number, v underscore what? Ename, v underscore emp desig, v underscore what else? Emp sal, and v underscore what? Department number. V underscore department number. Done. Okay. So my cursor, yeah, this fetch statement will read what? The current record in my active set. The current record in my active set. Okay. So just like if you take our ABAP, when you loop your internal table, it will start looping from the first record. If the record is successfully looped, what successfully looped means what? The data would be populated to what? Work area. Here also the current record data is populated into this particular 5 fields. Okay. So what I have to do, I don't know whether my fetch is successful or not. So if you take our ABAP environment, if you want to read the data from the internal table, we use read statement and we compare with size sub rc. If the read is successfully executed, size sub rc is 0, otherwise what? Something 4. Okay. Similarly here also, related to cursors, we have some attributes. Related to what? Cursor. So what I'll do, if c1, you have to use this colon not found. Not found is one of the attribute related to what? Cursor. So if c1 not found, I'll close the sub procedure here. Done. So if c1 not found, so when it not found means what? If it has finished processing all the records, if it has finished reading all the records, it will not return any records. So at that time not found will become what? True. If it is true, what I have to do, when you open any resource, you have to better close that resource. So I'll closing the cursor. Understood? I'm closing the cursor. Yes, sir. Closing the cursor, and the control should come out of the current loop. So yesterday, I believe I covered, we have to use a statement called as break statement, which will come out of the current loop. What is the current loop here? Loop and what? End loop. Else means what? If this if condition is not satisfied, obviously control comes to what? Else part. Means fetch is successfully executed. It has successfully read that record, and that record data will come and sit in this particular variables. Now what I have to do? Again, I have to do further condition check. If v underscore what? Employee designation. If v underscore employee designation equal to what? Manager. If it is equal to manager, then I'll say what should I say now? Mm, yeah, then I'll say v underscore employee salary is equal to, okay, v underscore employee salary is equal to v underscore employee salary, that is the current salary. Okay, current salary plus I need to increment by what? Some 5%. So I'll say v underscore employee salary into some calculation here. So 5 by what? 100. I'll say done. So this is what I'm doing. Current salary plus I'm what? Doing some calculation for calculating the 5% of the current salary. Okay, done. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll say insert into. I need to transfer this particular current record into which table? Since it is manager, I need to transfer into this table. So insert into what? Employee emplo, yeah, employee underscore department underscore manager. Okay. Values. Understood? Values. Anyway, the structure is same. So I'll say v underscore employee number, v underscore employee name, v underscore employee designation, v underscore employee salary, v underscore what department number. Department number. Done. Department number. Then I'll say else. Else I need to what? Increase the salary by some 10%. So I'll say here v underscore employee salary equal to current salary plus some 10%. Insert into what table now? If it is not manager, I need to insert into another table called what non-manager so and so. Done, done, done. Okay, done. Okay, end for if is what? End if. Done. And for this, it is what again? End if. So probably this should work. So what are the 4 steps here? We are declaring the cursor, opening the cursor, reading the cursor data. We don't know how many lines are there in the cursor. We don't know how many lines are there in the cursor. That's why this fetch statement should be kept inside what? Loop and loop. And there should be some exit condition for the loop. What is that exit condition? If fetch is failed, if the read is failed, this attribute becomes what? True. This not found is one of the attribute of the cursor. Okay. So if it is true, I am closing the cursor and break will come out of the current loop. Otherwise, if you're checking whether it is manager means I'm incrementing so and so, done, done, done. Okay. Yeah, any mistakes I have done here? Okay, let me execute, then it will be clear. Yeah, I'm executing this. F8. Yeah, so I don't have any errors. Might be the procedure is successfully what? Created. Procedure is successfully created. Now, before I execute, so this is my current data in the original table. If I go to this manager table, if I go to the content, I don't have any data here. And similarly, if I query for this non-manager, here also I don't have any data. Done. Now let us execute your procedure. So I'll say call. What is the procedure name? Transfer underscore data is the procedure name which doesn't have any parameters. So I'll say call transfer underscore data, call transfer underscore data. Done. Let me execute this. F8. Okay, it has executed. Affected how many rows? 10 rows it seems. Okay, so if you see the original table, when I refresh, this is my original table, nothing got disturbed here. When I query for the manager, open content, done. So yeah, manager table contains only what? Managers, and this is incremented salary, increased by some 5%. When I query for non-manager, yes, I got non-managers increased by some 10%. Yeah, 2000 was there. Yeah, 10% over 3000, 3600. Yeah, done. Okay, so here the main thing is 4 steps: declaring, opening, fetching, and what? Closing the cursor. Yeah, any doubts in this? Please ask me.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello. Sir, can I fetch the particular record in the cursor table?
Sorry, can you be clear?
Sir, can I fetch the particular record? Sir, if the internal table having
Yeah,
having 10 to
here. I told that cursor can be associated only with what? Select query. Okay. So when you are writing the select query here, I can give any condition here. I can give where class and I can filter the data
okay.
here. In the select statement, we have to control. Yeah, so the cursor is similar to internal table.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, here normally we can create a table with subquery, right? That inside we can write the select query. We can get the required fields. Can't we achieve this the condition over this? Select the field name, and for
See,
one field name
one,
we.
one thing, a business logic can be written in 100 different ways. Okay, so whichever is best, we have to go for that. So what is the recommendation of any database is, if you are able to achieve that business logic by using the normal SQL query, then don't go for what curses. Okay, if you are unable to achieve it by using the SQL query only, then it is recommended to go for what curses. So what is my requirement here? I need to check whether it is manager. Okay, I need to check whether it is manager, and if it is manager, I need to increase it by what, 5%. If it is other than manager, I need to increase it by 10%, and I need to transfer the data into what, corresponding database table. So I may not be able to do this by using a single query, by normal SQL query. That's why I went for what, cursors. But if you are able to do that by using individual SQL query, then don't go for what, cursors.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear, Gautam?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. So it's clear, but we can achieve this one right now, sir,
No, you tell
by
me the
using
you tell me the logic. Let us not
create
hesitate.
table,
Okay.
table name.
Hmm?
In the brackets, we have to write the select statement, select the number of fields. Here we have 5 fields, but for salary we need 5% increment.
Yeah,
So we are declaring all the fields,
then how do we do
and
it? How do we do
EMP
it?
sal into.
No, no,
Yes, sir.
see.
In the initial you for the initial class you have
Yeah,
written
correct.
a select statement,
Correct,
sir.
correct. But there, in that select query, how do you do the calculation?
While selecting itself, sir, while
While
selecting the
selecting,
statement itself,
can you do that
we have to
calculation?
write the where class,
Where class you'll write, but
where manager employee
correct,
equal to
correct,
manager.
correct. But how do you calculate? Okay, you'll say create table manager as a select so and so where designation is equal to manager. Okay, so all the data would be copied, but salary will be as it is, na? Salary will be as it
Okay,
is.
sir.
But I want to increase by what? 5% or what? 10%. That's what I said.
Okay, sir.
If you are able to achieve by using a standalone sequence table, don't go for cursors.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Because I thought like in the while selecting only we can do the calculation, right? On the first place you showed how to do
Yeah,
how to do the calculation in the select statement. So I thought whether can we achieve this one through that one.
yeah. Yesterday I told us select using case. Select using case. Okay, so in that you'll compare with what, designation. If the designation is manager, okay, the designation is manager, I can do the calculation. If it is possible, we can do it. That's what I am saying. Okay, I can write the same logic in what, multiple ways. If you are able to do that by using normal SQL query, don't go for what, cursors. If it is a complex business logic only, then go for what, cursors.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Venkat, there is no limit. There is no limit. There is no limit for the number of records in the cursor. But obviously, the moment the size increases, obviously it will degrade the performance. So you have to minimize the result set by using some where condition in our select query. Okay. Surendra, what is your doubt? If I am having 300
There is
fields,
no.
yeah. Praveen, tell me.
So see, there is there no select and end select concept here.
No, we don't have. When we
So
consume this in our ABAP report, yes, there I can use it. But again,
because Mhm.
select
Yeah.
and select, what it will do, it will again pull the data from database to what, application server, na? You understood my this thing? But here, what is happening? We are not returning any data to my application server. Entire processing, I am doing at what, database level itself, code push down approach.
Okay. So which means that, as you said, like it should be retrieved all record at a time and then processed later, right?
Yes. Entire processing also you are do at what, database level itself. If I go for
Database
select
level.
and select, it will pull the data into application server work area or internal table. Na? So that's the reason.
So in this case, yeah, so all the operations should be at the either
Database
okay,
level,
the
yes.
select on or the select only, the
Yes.
select statement or at the cursor level.
Yeah, cursor level, yes.
But how do we, put a loop to the select then at the database? Not this part. Cursor is understood. Like what the other cases like.
A loop
So cursor is like, we are looping to the database and then, cursor is fetching all the data into the memory and then we are processing from the memory, right?
correct. But where is this memory? At the database level only. This is not at what application server, na? This cursor will be
Correct.
processed at the database level.
Correct. Same way, the select statement also, if you write select statement with all case and all that,
Yes.
how the system recognizes that it has to process record by record?
I didn't understood your query properly.
No. When you write a select statement, so how the control is pointing record by record there in the database,
Yeah.
at the database
See,
layer.
yesterday, I believe we have seen one example for what case and case. So let me open this. Yeah, if you observe this, yeah, here, do we have this kind of syntax in our normal ECC OpenSQL? We don't have. Okay, that is, we cannot use case as part of what select statement in our normal OpenSQL. So this is that advanced OpenSQL which is supported only on what HANA database. So by looking at this syntax only, it will understand that it has to process this at the database level and return that result to what itab. And this itab also here only what I can do further, I can say what loop and I can do whatever processing I want to do without returning this itab data to what front end. I mean to say to the application server.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So here, see that like all the data will be in one shot. It will be coming into the iTab, right?
itab, yes.
With after the manipulations done.
After
With all the manipulations done.
manipulation done at database level itself.
Yeah. And then it's a record by record internal loop
Yes.
to the database.
Yes. Surendra, what is the road? If I'm having 300 fields, cursor difficult to do. If it is a normal case also, you'll have the same thing, na? If you have to do multiple conditions in a normal business logic also, if it is more the fields, obviously the logic will increase. Here also it will be same. The same thing will apply for cursor also. Okay. Now let me show you one more example. So what is that 4 steps I told here? Yeah, I'll come to that point, Surendra. Okay. What is the 4 steps yeah. Okay. Your question should be different. What you are saying is, as part of fetch statement, do I need to declare all these field summons? This is one approach. Again, going forward, I'll introduce a concept called as row type. Okay, we have a concept called as row type. Okay, row type means that row type will refer to the entire row. Okay, so see here, it's a good question. What Surendra is saying is, okay, you are pulling the data into so and so into the cursor, and for processing your cursor, each record you have to process. And since my cursor, each record in the cursor is having 5 fields, I took 5 different variables. He is saying that if you are pulling 300 fields, should I declare 300 variables? Means yes, obviously we have to do it. Otherwise, there is a solution called as row type. The moment you declare a row type, it will refer to the entire row. Okay, so here I need not mention the individual fields. Okay, I can declare a row type and transfer that record to the row type, and whichever field you want to refer in your business logic, you can refer. Anyhow, that example will come going forward. So the solution for that is row type declaration. Row type declaration will refer to the entire row. Okay.
Otherwise, we can select the which fields we want in the select statement itself.
Correct. Yeah. Here, if you don't want all the fields, you remove this star and select the required fields. Okay. Yeah. Now there is another important thing called as cursor for loop. Okay. So here for a normal cursor, how many steps you are following? Declaring, opening, and what? Reading the cursor and closing the cursor. Okay. We have a concept called as what? Cursor for loop. Let me show you an example. So shall I take the same table? Yeah. So my requirement is, so this is my original table. Let me just close all these things. Yeah, this is my original table. So my requirement is wherever salary is what? Wherever salary is what less than 5,000, try to understand. Wherever the salary is less than 5,000, I have to increment the salary by 5% and update your database table. And if it is greater than 5,000, I have to increment by what 2% and update your database table. And at the end, I want the updated data. At the end, I want the updated data. So I repeat the requirement. This is my original table, so with so and so data, so and so data. So my requirement is wherever the salary is less than 5,000, I have to increment it by 5%, and if it is greater than 5,000, I have to increment by what 2,000, sorry 2%, and at the end I need to return my updated data of the database table. Okay, I need to return my updated data database table, and I don't want to do for all the records. Okay, I want to pass department number as input. If I pass department number as 10, so related to department number 10 there are some 4 records, so in that I have to check whether the salary is less than 5,000 or greater than 5,000. Okay, accordingly I need to write the business logic. So instead of following this approach, I'll go for a concept called as cursor for loop. So the advantage of cursor for loop is you need not open the cursor, you need not fetch the cursor, you need not close the cursor. All these three activities will be done by what cursor for loop itself. Okay, so let me quickly do this. I'll say create procedure. Okay, so I'll give the cursor name as update underscore employee underscore department. Okay, and I want to take 2 parameters. What are they? Input parameter. I want to give input for department number. So I'll say input v underscore department number int. Then output parameter, I want to return the data again, and I'll refer to what my database table. What is that? Employee underscore department is my database table. Yeah, employee underscore department, done. Okay, so this is the signature of my what procedure as begin, done. So what is the first step here? We need to what declare the cursor. Okay, so I'll say declare. Acha. Okay, now let me do it here only. Declare cursor name. In the earlier cursor declaration, I retrieved all the fields. I said star, but now I'm not interested in all the fields. I'm interested only on employee number, salary, and department number. Yes, I want only 3 fields: emp number, emp sal, and what department number. So I'll say declare cursor name. Okay, as not as for what is this select. Okay, for select, what are the fields here? Employee number. What else? I want employee salary, done. What else I want? Department number also I want. Department number from what is the table name? Employee underscore department. Employee underscore department, done. Employee underscore department, and here I don't want to get all the records where department number is equal to what? What is that input parameter? V underscore D number, done. So I'm filtering the data based on where class, where department number equal to V underscore D number. Then then what else? Cursor is declared. Then I have to calculate the new salary. So I'll say declare V underscore new salary. I'll declare it as integer. Okay, let me declare it as integer, done. Then yeah, earlier what we have done In the earlier example, after declaring the cursor, we have opened the cursor. Okay, we have opened the cursor, and then we are using loop and what end loop, because we don't know how many records are there in my cursor. I'm using the fetch statement to process it row by row, record by record. Okay, and then I wrote some exit condition. Now what I'll do is I'll go for cursor for loop. So for I have to give some alias name. You can give any name. Let me give a meaningful name for current row. Any name you can give. For current row as C1 do, yeah. Okay, this is the reference for a current row. Okay, if what, yeah, if current row dot, what is this, emp sala. Okay, so each row will contain how many fields? Three fields: employee number, employee salary, and department number. If current row dot emp salary is what, less than what, 5,000, then what I have to do? If it is less than 5,000, I need to calculate the new salary. V underscore new salary equal to current salary. So current row dot, what is the current emp sal plus, okay, I should not disturb that, plus I need to calculate the what, increment. So current row dot emp sal into, I want some 5%, so I'll say 5 by what, 100. Done. Then I need to update in my database table. Okay, update. What is my table name? Employee underscore department. Okay, set employee salary is equal to what? New salary. What is it? V underscore new salary. Okay, if I don't give where condition, it will update all the records. So now I'll say where employee number is equal to what, current row dot emp number. Yeah, probably this should work. Let me check. If current row dot employee salary is less than 5,000, then increment it by 5%. Else I'll say v underscore new salary current row dot emp sal plus current row dot so and so, increment by what, 2%. Then update employee underscore department, set employee salary equal to so and so. Done. Then what I have to say here, end if, and then I need to what, end the for. What is the syntax? End for, I think, yeah, end for. Done. And at the end, the updated data I want to return. So I'll say itab. What is the return parameter here? Itab is equal to, I'll say what, select, I want all the fields, select star from, what is the original table, employee underscore department. Done. Then close your procedure. So here, what is the change we have observed? We are only declaring the cursor. We are not opening the cursor. We are not fetching using the fetch statement. We are not closing the cursor. That is the advantage about cursor for loop. It will implicitly open the cursor, processes the cursor. I mean to say, fetch the cursor data row by row, and then closes the cursor. That is the meaning of what, cursor for loop. Okay, done. Let me cross check the logic. I'm creating the procedure with one integer. Done. Decline the cursor. For select, I want only employee number, employee salary, department number. Done. Done. Okay, we need department number. Then yeah, this can be any name. I can give anything here. So to refer to the current row, so I'm just giving a meaningful name for current row as what, C1. Okay, so what this will do, it will internally open the cursor and it will point to the first record. Okay, it will enter the loop and I'm checking if in the current row, if the salary is less than 5,000, I'm calculating the new salary. New salary is equal to what, current salary plus incremented salary, and update the table for the corresponding employee number. So this cursor is holding three fields: employee number, employee salary, and what, department number. So I'm updating based on employee number. Here also same thing, 2%. Done. So let me try to execute this. F8. Done. It successfully got executed. Okay. So let me go to the table. I'll refresh. So this is my current data. So let us focus on department number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the department numbers here? 10,000, 10, 4,000, 10, 7,000, 10 is what? 10,000. So if it is less than 5,000, I have to increment it by 5%. Okay. I should increment by 5%, then so and so. Okay. So let me just call the procedure. Call, what is this? Update underscore employee underscore what? Department. Call update underscore employee underscore department. It will give an error because my procedure is expecting two parameters. So when I try to execute this, yeah, I got an error because the parameters are not bounded. So I'll say now, okay, so it has got one input parameter. I'll pass 10 and it is going to return me the result. So I'll place a placeholder. Done. Let me execute this. So when I say F8, at the end, it should return me the data also, the updated data, just for our analysis. Let's say F8. It should not take this much time because of the database issue.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello. Sir, actually internally, so in the declare cursor as part of the V underscore department number, where condition?
This one, V
Yes.
underscore number is an input parameter for your procedure. That's what I am passing. 10 I am
Sir,
passing.
sir, how to know this value is 10 or 20 or 30?
How to know means since I have created the table, I know the data, na?
Mm-hmm.
I know the data.
Okay.
I need to analyze my data and I need to pass the test values. So if you see the result here,
Okay.
yeah, I got the updated data now. See, a department number 10 increased by earlier 1000 is there, increased by what? 5%. 4000 is there, increased by 5%, 200 rupees. And this is greater than what? 5000, 2%. Yeah, 2% is what? 140 done. And here also done, 200. Working fine. And if you see the original table also, when I refresh, yes, it got updated here also. It got updated here. Okay, so the main thing you have to focus here is about cursor for loop. We are not opening it, we are not fetching it, we are not closing it. It will be done implicitly. Yeah, is it clear to everyone? Any questions? Please ask me.
Sir, my doubt is a V underscore department number. Sir, it is 10 or 20 or 30. So how to know that this value is 10 or this value is this
Okay.
value this
Okay. Now we are all ABAP consultants. Okay. So I'm writing a program. I'm writing a program to get the sales orders from what VBAK table. Okay. So I'll generate a selection screen. I wrote the select query. I got the data. Now at the end, what you will do as a ABAP consultant, before we do the transportation, we'll test it, right? So when you are executing that report, you'll get a selection screen. What you have to give?
yes.
Sales document, right?
The
Okay.
yes in
So
yes.
how do you know that sales document? How do you
Sir,
know?
from the
From the VBAK table, right?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
here also, who has created this procedure? By the developer. Okay, from which table we are querying? Employee underscore department. So I know that in my table,
Okay.
understood?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah,
Yes, I got it. Last statement you have write 10. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Sir.
Sridhar is
Yeah, tell me.
the in the syntax. If you see the first syntax, you given the cursor row as C1.
1 second, please just hold on 1 second. Sorry, Pularo, can you please repeat? Is this one?
Yeah, that syntax actually
Uh-huh.
exactly. Okay, in general, we give the C1 as our alias name, but here it is something other way around.
That is in the select statement. In the select statement, you will say select field name as alias. Okay, it is reverse here. It is reverse here.
In most of the cases, even joins or whatever.
Correct.
Most of the
You will give the alias at the right hand side. Here we are giving it to the left hand side. So it's a part of the syntax.
okay.
Yeah.
The other way around, it won't work.
No. It cannot recognize. It will give syntax error.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And one more is a general question. In generally, cursors degrade the performance, right? What about here?
Degrades the performance means that's why don't try to fetch the entire data. Try to fetch only the required data by going for parameterized cursor. So this I can say it as a parameterized cursor only. I'm using the select statement to filter my data. Okay, that's what I said. Now see, if you feel
And it is
no, once
this is that something debatable, sir. What I'm trying to say is, it is we always not able to parameterize. Sometimes we need to fetch the complete data. It is depends on the scenario. We can't
Correct.
say we
Correct.
need to pass the parameterized or whatever. So most of the cases, most of the guys' advantage is don't use the cursors.
Yeah, correct. So in that case, see, that's what, if you are able to do it by using, see, no one will tell us to go for cursors, to go for normal SQL. It is a developer choice. If you are unable to do that, if you are unable to do that by using normal SQL queries, then only go for what cursors. And when you go for cursor, you limit your result set. Limit your results means reduce the number of what records. How do you do that? By using that where conditions, okay, all those things, and by creating indexes on the table. By creating index on the table, so that what the accessing would be what faster. Like that we'll try to increase the performance. Yes, what you said is absolutely correct. Using cursors will degrade the performance, but if there is no other alternative, the only solution is you have to go for what cursors.
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Yeah.
Can't you work like just like ABAP, right? Internal table and working with work area, just like that concept?
Correct. But again, see, again, we are pulling the data to what? Application server. We are trying to pull the data application server. So here agenda is what you push your entire code in the database itself and execute there itself, so that network layer traffic will be reduced.
My intention here question is when you write the select query, why you can write what is that underscore, not underscore, at the rate of some name, so it will store complete data into dynamic internal table.
Yes.
As we
Yes.
discussed in the earlier classes.
Correct.
Okay. Can't we process that internal table and write the business logic?
Okay, so what you are saying is you want to fetch the data into the dynamic internal table, and then based on the dynamic internal table data, you want to do the processing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so if it is feasible, yes, we can do it. But if it is not allowing through dynamic internal table, then we have to go for cursor. Now, everything may not be possible through a dynamic internal table.
Why not, sir? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm confused. Can you clarify why not? It is possible in if you take as a ABAP, it is everything is possible through working the business logic to internal tables.
Correct. It depends on the skill set of the ABAP concern also. No, everyone may not be aware of the dynamic internal table concept, right? Am I clear?
Okay.
So at that time,
Okay, that's fine. Maybe you are trying to tell me that there is another way to accessing the data through the cursor. Might be we can work through the dynamic internal table
no,
to.
one second. When you are using
Uh-huh.
cursors, dynamic interval is not
Mm-hmm.
supported. As part of the cursor, I cannot go for dynamic internal tables.
Yeah, inside the cursor, that's fine.
Yes, yeah.
But outside the cursor,
Yeah,
I'm fine.
correct, correct. That is again you are saying at the report level, right? But where this procedure, it is a stored procedure at the database level. Am I clear? What you said is absolutely fine. When you are consuming at the report level, I can get the data into the internal table, dynamic internal table, and then do the processing. But where this stored procedure gets executed in the database itself. Okay. So if you are using cursors, I cannot associate the dynamic internal table in my select query.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now.
You understood now what I'm trying to say. If you are
Yes,
doing,
yes.
if you're doing at the ABAP level report, yes, I can do everything through dynamic internal table. Now we are not touching the ABAP layer here. We are not touching the ABAP layer.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Fine, thanks.
So,
Yeah.
so Sridhar, what you said is like, so as Pullara is asking, like,
Yeah.
we will be consuming this, we'll be, processing this internal table when we move to the ABAP perspective, right?
Yes.
So we'll just, consume there and we'll process whatever he is asking, like, yeah.
But again, the recommendation is, again, you should not do any kind of processing at the application layer. The main theme of HANA database is you use the application layer only for display purpose. Don't do any processing at the application layer. You do the entire processing at the database layer itself. Again, if you are doing the processing at the application layer, there is no point in going for HANA database, right? You understood, Praveen? Okay. Even if you consume in the ABAP reports internal table, we'll just use it only for display. After receiving the data in my ABAP internal table, I will use it only for display purpose. I will not do any kind of processing on that. Again, if you are doing processing, doesn't make sense in using the OpenSQL statements related to HANA database.
But thing is, we may not be 100%, possible, to put all the, calculations of the
Yes,
database,
we
right?
can, we can. Going forward, that is what we'll discuss in CDS views, ADBC, AMDP.
Because sometimes when we start using this,
Hmm.
function model kind of, function, probably HANA database, we will have some different, concept like function models, right? Something like
Yeah. Hmm.
So we'll be using, all those things we cannot directly, put it on the select statement, right? So we'll be doing some kind of, physical period, calculating, physical.
We can, Praveen. So as of now, we have not discussed much on select statement. Select statement has got different syntaxes in another. Everything is possible.
So you mean to say like, the end result is going to be just,
For
consumed at the ABAP layer only for display purpose,
Display,
nothing,
that's all.
more than that.
Display means either in classical way or by using ALV reporting. That's it. But the processing should be done at the database level only. And that is supported by using different syntaxes related to select statement, all those things.
So you mean to say like this procedure we can call even, to populate the views, which we are going to discuss in the coming class?
Yes, we can, Praveen.
And we'll just use that view there in the ABAP program.
Correct. Yes.
So either we can directly, okay, the procedure can be applied on the database level or view level, right?
Yes.
Okay. So more or less same, yeah. Okay.
See,
Understood.
The main theme is we use ABAP layer only for display. That is a thumb rule you have to remember from now onwards. We don't do any kind of processing at the ABAP layer. That is, I mean to say, application layer. Okay. So once we are done with this, rest of the native SQL, we'll understand how exactly we consume in our front end level. That is, I mean to say, ABAP layer. Yeah, others is
But Sridhar, in what scenario we go for the OpenSQL statements which are available at the ABAP level?
If you don't have any stored procedure at the database level.
Oh, okay, got it.
You understood?
Okay. When we don't have any procedures created, then if you want to directly work on the database, okay.
Advanced OpenSQL. Okay. Yeah, others, is it clear to everyone? Chalo then, so practice this. We'll continue tomorrow with the other scenarios. Okay? Chalo.